We have these generative AI models now, and honestly, they feel like magic sometimes. They can crunch through billions of data points, draft these complex reports almost instantly. But if we're being really honest, for most of us, the results from AI, they're still pretty hit or miss, frustratingly inconsistent. We all feel that potential is there, but actually getting reliable, leveraged results, that's the struggle.
So is real AI mastery about, sweating every single word in a prompt
Yeah.
beat? Or is it actually about building a smarter, more repeatable process around the tool itself?
That is absolutely the core tension right now, isn't it? You've got these incredibly powerful engines, but the workflow, the whole system around them, is often kind of brittle or just weak. If you treat AI like a vending machine, you put your coin, your prompt in, and expect the perfect product out every time, yeah, you're going to be disappointed. Exactly. Welcome to the deep dive. Our sources today, they're sharp, really actionable insights pulled from a major hub focused specifically on AI-powered productivity. We think we've got a real shortcut for you today, moving you maybe from being a basic user towards thinking more like an AI architect.
Yeah, our mission here is to really distill the most useful information. We're focusing on how you can actually use, automate, and maybe even build custom AI solutions, the kind that deliver a real competitive edge, hopefully saving you months of just trial and error.
Okay, so we're unpacking 4 core areas today. First, that really essential automation mindset shift we were just touching on. Then, mastering custom prompt techniques, getting beyond the basics. Third, the strategic framework for building AI that's truly defensible, something others can't just copy. And finally, how sophisticated AI is actually tackling really complex prediction problems, like stock market patterns. Sound good?
Sounds great. Let's jump in. Where do we start?
Let's start right at the foundation. That mindset piece. Okay, let's unpack this. The first source, it really challenges a common belief, I think, that we all hold about automation. We often think, okay, automation means replacing a task completely, 100% gone. But the source argues the real professional benefit isn't always about replacement. It's actually about leverage.
Right. And what's fascinating here is how the source kind of reframes the whole approach. They found these 4 sort of non-obvious lessons for making automation actually work. Because aiming for that 100% full replacement often leads to failure or these super complex systems that just break.
Okay, give us the breakdown then. What are those lessons and why do they matter so much?
All right, first one. Focus on leverage, not 100% full automation. Think of AI more like an accelerator, not just a replacement worker. It should take your work from maybe a B- effort to an A+, but in half the time. That's leverage.
Makes sense. Elevating quality and speed, not just eliminating the task. What's next?
Second, go deep, not wide. So don't try to automate like a dozen simple admin tasks torely. Instead, solve one complex high-value problem really, really well. Something like drafting detailed technical reports accurately. Get that right?
So solving one hard problem with real precision creates more value than kind of poorly tackling lots of small, easy ones.
Got it.
What about number 3?
Third lesson. Simplicity scales best. This one's huge. Complex workflows, they just break more often. You run into trouble with like API changes, models updating their internal logic, data drift, all sorts of stuff. Simple, focused workflows are the ones that actually survive over time and keep delivering that consistency you need.
And that 4th lesson, it feels like the linchpin, right? The thing that connects everything we're talking about today.
Absolutely. The final lesson is prioritize process over just writing better prompts.
Yeah.
The system you build around the AI, how it handles inputs, how it deals with errors, manages outputs, that's what creates consistency. It's not just about the specific words you feed it on any given morning.
Yeah, that emphasis on a repeatable process.
Yeah, it brings us right to prompt creation, doesn't it? Because writing the same long, complex set of instructions for the AI every single day, it's totally draining, kills your speed. We definitely need a way to save those internal rule sets more permanently.
And that's exactly where the tools are evolving fast. The source highlights Claude's new skills feature, for example. This is pretty critical because it essentially aims to end that repetitive prompt cycle, especially for high-value recurring tasks.
How is that fundamentally different, though, from just using, say, a system prompt or those custom instructions that are kind of always on in the background?
Well, a skill lets you define a really complex role, like the AI needs to act as a specialized regulatory expert, for instance, or a multi-step task flow, just once. You define it, you name that skill, and then you can just invoke it later without manually pasting, 500 words of context every single time. It becomes saved, proprietary logic you can apply with just one click. It's a huge efficiency gain. Sticky, too. Okay, I have to admit something here. I still wrestle with prompt drift myself. big time. Like, I'll find that perfect, nuanced prompt one day, get exactly what I want, then the next day. I feel like I'm fighting the model just to remember the basic constraints and the tone I need. I'm admitting this vulnerability because I know I'm not the only one feeling this. But this is where it gets really interesting, according to the source. How do we maybe stop writing prompts from scratch entirely and maybe leverage the AI to manage its own instructions better?
Yeah, the solution proposed is basically to turn the tables on the AI itself.
Right.
The source details this really clever concept they call the 15-minute hack. And this method essentially relies on letting the AI do the heavy lifting of actually writing its own instructions.
Okay, walk us through that. What does that look like in practice? How does it work?
Well, the simplest version involves having the AI essentially interview you about what you want, your desired outcome. So instead of you typing out, write me a summary of this document, the AI might ask you questions first, like, okay, tell me about the ultimate recipient of this summary. Who is it for? Or what are the 3 absolute must-have takeaways this summary needs to contain? Once the AI gets those answers from you, it then generates its own detailed, optimized, and hopefully consistent prompt based on your high-level intent.
So the AI builds the perfect instruction manual for itself based on your goals. That should make the output instantly better, more targeted. Okay, that connects beautifully back to doing high-level professional work. We also saw those 5 essential ChatGPT-5 methods outlined for practical tasks too, right?
Right. And those methods, they move way beyond just simple Q&A. They get into structured execution, applying directly to things like rigorous data analysis, creating high-quality long-form content, even rapid project prototyping. Basically, any task where consistency and following instructions are paramount.
So thinking beyond just mastering prompting and getting the process right, what's the fastest win for organizing AI-powered learning if you want to learn something new fast?
Use AI to organize videos into a clear curriculum, even create a custom audio lesson. Learn any topic fast.
Okay, now that we've sort of nailed down the process for using these tools effectively, let's shift gears. Let's talk to the builders out there. When people talk about competitive advantage or creating a defensible moat, especially in the AI era, they often mean building something that others can't just easily copy. What are the sources saying is the ultimate differentiator here?
It boils down to fine-tuning your own custom large language model, an LLM. This is really about moving past using the generic public models like ChatGPT and creating a proprietary, unique AI that reflects only your specific, maybe confidential, high-value data.
Right. And just for anyone unfamiliar, an LLM large language model that's simply the powerful AI engine, the brain, if you will, trained on massive amounts of text data that powers these sophisticated applications we're all using.
Exactly. And the source makes this very specific, kind of provocative claim that there's a guide out there detailing how you can fine-tune a custom LLM in just 13 minutes. Now, this sounds incredibly disruptive, and it is, but we have to understand the context here.
Wait a second. If it only takes 13 minutes, isn't it super easy for my competitors to just copy what I built? Where's the actual moat if the build time is potentially that short?
That's a crucial question, absolutely. The speed, that 13-minute claim, which is often achieved using these specialized, simplified frameworks like Axolotl, it's revolutionary, yeah. But the speed itself, that's not the moat. The true moat is your proprietary data, the stuff only you have access to. The custom LLM is only defensible because it reflects unique, siloed knowledge that your competitors simply can't get their hands on.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. The underlying code or framework might become generic, but the knowledge it's trained on remains proprietary. So to really grasp the strategic advantage here, we probably need to understand some of the underlying tech concepts better. The source wisely breaks down, I think it was 10 core papers that fundamentally built modern AI. We need simple definitions for these.
Absolutely. Understanding the fundamentals is totally key if you want to build a defensible product, not just a cool demo.
Okay, let's hit the first essential one, RAG. What's that in plain English?
RAG, right, Retrieval Augmented Generation. It's critical. Basically, it means the AI pulls in specific, usually verified external data, could be your company documents, recent news, proprietary databases before it generates an answer. This dramatically cuts down on hallucination, making the AI much more current and factually grounded.
Okay, good. Next up, LoRa. That sounds pretty technical.
LoRa, yeah, low-rank adaptation. It sounds complex, but the concept is simple. It's just a very efficient method for fine-tuning those giant LLMs without needing like a supercomputer. Instead of retraining the entire model, the whole brain, which is massive LoRa, trains just a small, highly efficient adapter layer that sits on top. Saves immense amounts of time and computing costs. Makes fine-tuning way more accessible.
Got it. Efficient fine-tuning. And finally, agents. What are AI agents?
Agents are basically specialized AI programs. They're designed to execute complex, multi-step tasks, more or less autonomously. You can
Yeah.
think of them as sort of the next evolution beyond simple prompts. They can potentially think, plan, and take actions in the real world, things like booking flights, managing project tasks, interacting with other software.
Right. And speaking of agents, the source did warn that even something like OpenAI's Agent Builder, despite its friendly name, is actually more technical than it looks. So, what's the key takeaway for a beginner who's trying to build a functional agent that actually works?
The main takeaway seems to be the need for a really practical step-by-step walkthrough. It's not just about defining the goal, like manage my email. You really need clear guidance to manage the internal logic, structure the actual workflow effectively step by step, and correctly add the necessary external widgets or tools, the APIs, that allow the agent to successfully interact with the outside world, like your calendar or email client.
Whoa. Okay, just pause for a second. Imagine scaling a truly defensible custom LLM solution, built initially in maybe 13 minutes using these frameworks, but then scaling it to handle, say, 1 billion proprietary queries a day. That fundamentally changes how quickly a business can innovate, right? And how cheaply they can distribute unique knowledge or capabilities.
It absolutely shifts the entire cost and speed paradigm of innovation, completely. You potentially move from months, maybe years of traditional R&D to something closer to a weekend project for the initial version. It's wild.
So let's nail this down. What is the core difference between building a custom LLM and just using standard ChatGPT for your business?
Custom LLMs provide that defensible competitive moat precisely because they reflect unique proprietary data.
Okay, let's turn now to one of the most complex domains out there, one where results can be, well, highly volatile. Market prediction, finance. The sources cover using pure mathematics and also machine learning to analyze stock patterns. Now, we know this field is just absolutely littered with failed trading bots and predictive models that blow up. Why do most of them crash and burn so badly?
Yeah, what we learned from the source material is that most trading bots fail largely because of, well, catastrophic complexity and something called overfitting. They often try to predict way too far ahead, or they bake far too many variables and assumptions into one single rigid model. The analysis suggests a much more effective approach is actually a one-step-at-a-time machine learning model.
Okay, what does that mean exactly? One step at a time.
It means the model isn't trying to forecast, next week's closing price perfectly. That's basically impossible. Instead, it makes tiny iterative adjustments based only on the very immediate past data. It's learning constantly, adapting step by step. Because markets are inherently so unpredictable, this kind of simple, adaptive learning approach seems to perform far better over time than any attempt at a fixed, complex, long-range forecast.
But that barrier to entry, it still feels incredibly high, doesn't it? Does this mean only people with advanced math degrees or coding skills can gain a real professional edge using this kind of AI in finance?
Apparently not, which is really interesting. The source details 5 specific AI trading hacks you can implement using free ChatGPT. This really helps democratize access to sophisticated analysis, potentially without needing to write complex Python code or manage huge, messy data pipelines yourself.
How is a standard conversational AI like ChatGPT actually useful for something as high stakes as trading?
Well, a few ways. First, ChatGPT can act as your daily analyst. It can synthesize market news, gauge sentiment, almost instantly. That saves a ton of reading time. Crucially, it can also assist as a position sizer, helping you determine how much to risk, and as a strategy validator. You can describe your trading strategy to it and have it stress test the logic against historical patterns or known biases. It can even apparently help you build a custom indicator script for your trading platform without you actually writing a single line of code yourself.
Wow, okay. That is significant leverage for an individual trader or small firm. And the proof, as they say, is in the pudding. The results detailed in the source material.
This is what practical simplified validation looks like, right?
It really is. The source highlights a case where a simple method, with no complex coding needed, was used to build a specific tool. And this AI-driven strategy apparently found stocks that ended up doubling the market's return, a 2x multiple over the benchmark. That really shows the immense power of smart, simplified AI application, especially when it's applied with the right methodology, a complex field. So bottom line, why is that one-step-at-a-time model generally better than a big, complex, predictive model for markets?
Because markets are unpredictable, that simple iterative learning reduces the risk of huge, catastrophic errors. So, okay, let's try to synthesize everything we've covered here today. AI mastery, true mastery, seems to be fundamentally about moving past just basic prompt input. Getting beyond just typing questions is really about focusing on defining a scalable, repeatable process, and then leveraging custom tools that reflect your specific needs and data.
Right, whether that means saving your internal rule sets using something like Claude Skills feature, or letting the AI interview you to craft its own perfect prompt using that 15-minute hack, or maybe even fine-tuning a proprietary LLM on your unique data in potentially a matter of minutes. The end goal seems to be repeatability, consistency, and ultimately defensibility.
Exactly. So the key practical takeaways for you, the listener, are probably these. 1. Focus relentlessly on building a solid process around the AI, not just perfecting individual prompts. 2. Try that 15-minute prompt hack. Let the AI help write its own instructions. And 3. Remember that often, simpler iterative machine learning models can actually outperform unnecessary complexity, especially in really volatile fields like finance.
We really hope this deep dive gave you some valuable shortcuts and maybe a strategic framework you needed to accelerate your own journey toward AI mastery. Keep asking those essential questions, especially about what leverage truly means for you and your work.
Yeah, and maybe a final provocative thought to leave you with. We talked about building a defensible moat using your unique data and a custom LLM. Now, if you really can build a viable proprietary AI solution, or at least a prototype, in something like 13 minutes, what kind of massive traditional corporate R&D cycle, the ones that take months, maybe years, and millions of dollars, what parts of that become completely obsolete tomorrow?
That's the question that should drive your innovation this week.